Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes. Thanks for tuning into the podcast today. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and today we're talking about something I hear all the time from dietitians in private practice, therapists, nutritionists, everybody trying to book more clients into their practice. They're often saying things to me like, I'm doing everything. I'm posting on social media. I've got a freebie. I'm on Instagram. I've been posting tons of content and spending time making videos. I even tried a free webinar, but none of it is getting me clients. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something. First of all, you are not doing anything wrong. But your marketing likely has a few strategic gaps, and that is what is making it feel like such a struggle. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through 5 reasons marketing your practice feels so hard, even when you're trying everything. And I'm going to give you 3 simple steps on what you can do instead to make a shift. And listen, if marketing your practice feels like a waste of time or just a giant energy suck, I get it. But there are some ways to be looking at how you can be doing the marketing and planning it to make a shift in that feeling. Oftentimes, it is because you're getting advice that wasn't necessarily made for you. You're a registered dietitian. You're a trained therapist. You're a nutritionist. You were trained in science and nutrition, not sales funnels. As therapists, you're trained to help counsel people, not how to write marketing content. And most business programs in school teach generic strategies and not the specifics that happen once you put on that hat of becoming a private practice owner. Then there are the marketing experts out there, a lot of whom are dietitians and therapists who had something work for them and they now teach it to other people. But a cookie cutter strategy rarely works for everyone. And some folks out there are offering these strategies that do even more harm by telling people to just get online and keep posting more and more content until it sticks. Listen, the reason your marketing isn't working isn't because you're not posting enough or trying hard enough. There are always reasons behind why something is not working. Diets don't work because they don't address the real issue. Posting more and more on social media doesn't work either, not when you keep doubling down on the wrong things. Posting more content, more videos, more stories, more freebies, more and more time on social is what happens there. You just end up hoping that one of those things will finally click with people. But the more you do, the more exhausted you feel and the further you get from the results you're actually looking for. It's not a lack of effort. It's not because it's not enough content. It's a lack of strategy. And that's what I've seen after working with more than 500 private practice owners one-to-one and hundreds more in my programs. Doing more of something that is not working is not the answer. So please, if that is you, stop posting on social media multiple times a day. Listen to this episode and then look at putting some of these strategies into play. Marketing your private practice should never feel like a part-time job, especially when there is no visible payoff. Yet so many dietitians, therapists, and service providers keep on at it. And this is why you feel stuck, because you haven't addressed the underlying issue. So if you are spending time on marketing that is not bringing in a steady flow of the right clients, this lesson today will help you figure out why. You'll learn some of the most common reasons private practice marketing feels frustrating and ineffective, and 3 action steps to help you turn things around. So let's walk through each of these 5 reasons to give you some idea of why you might be experiencing the same problem so that you can start making the changes that actually lead to more consults and more paying clients. Let's start off with the first reason that your marketing is feeling so hard. It's often because you don't have a clear message. If I asked you right now, what do you do and who do you help? Can you answer it clearly in one line, one sentence? Most dietitians and practice owners start off with something like, I work with women with health issues who want to make peace with food, or I help people eat better and feel better. But that kind of language doesn't stand out online, especially when your clients are overwhelmed and scrolling fast, looking through things, trying to find the answers they're searching for. You need a very specific message that is clear and makes someone think, oh, wow, she helps people like me. And that's what we work on a lot in the messaging pillar of the Thrive Marketing Academy. Because if you don't have a clear message, none of your marketing is going to stick. The second reason that you are struggling so much with your marketing is because you're potentially offering services in a way that no one is searching for. And this is a hard truth. Sometimes the service or program that you've created, the name you've given to something, how you might package something, are not at all what clients are looking for, even if it is amazing. I've seen dietitians build 8-week intuitive eating programs or holistic wellness coaching offers, but when they aren't clearly tied to a specific urgent problem their dream clients are trying to solve, it's not going to hit home for those people. If the offer doesn't feel essential and doesn't feel connected to the person reading it or hearing it, they're not going to book a call with you or sign up, no matter how great that program or service might be. And it doesn't mean you need to change your philosophy and your approach to what you do. It just means you might need to position your offer and your services in a way that speaks to the problem your clients want solved. And yes, you can definitely do this without compromising things like your values and the way you approach working with people. And I know that's really important, especially for some of the non-diet, weight-inclusive dietitians that I work with. You can ensure that you're putting a message together when it comes to your offers and your services and your packages that really hit home to the people looking for those solutions. One mistake that a lot of people make is they'll refer to their program as a signature program. They don't give it a name other than that. I get that you took a course somewhere where someone taught you how to make a signature program, but there are very few clients struggling with weight, struggling with eating disorders, struggling with chronic dieting, or even if you have a therapy practice where you specialize in working with ADHD clients. Having a signature program, and that's what you call it, is not going to hit home for anyone. So you have to make sure you're offering your services in a way that people will totally understand that that program you have, that service you offer, is what they are looking for and what they're wanting. It may not be what they need in the moment, but you'll deal with that in how you work with them. Now, the third reason that your marketing is often not hitting home is you're not telling people how to work with you. Calls to action. People are scared to do this. A lot of the dietitians and therapists that I coach, they're healers in nature. And so they're afraid of sounding salesy. So when they show up on social media and they write emails, they give value, but they never actually say the words, book a call with me. People aren't going to know if you're hiding your calls to action or your offers at the bottom of your website, or if you're waiting people to ask if you're taking on new clients. That's a problem. You have to give them the steps to take and tell them how they can work with you. Your marketing has to include not only that clear explanation, that message, and what you offer, but it also has to include a way to book a call with you or to apply for a service or a program. You've got to have those consistent reminders on how people can take that next step and work with you, how you can help them. I understand that people feel like they don't want to be a salesy, pushy kind of person. But at the same time, if you never let people know that you can help them and how they can get started working with you, they may never realize they've got to click that button and reach out. Now, the fourth reason that a lot of people struggle with their marketing and feel that it is just not working is because they're often focusing their marketing in the wrong place, on the wrong channels. And this is one of the biggest reasons that marketing can feel so exhausting, because you're spending hours and hours creating content for Instagram posts, stories, reels, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for Threads, for Blue Sky. We're getting into all these different ones here. People are trying to get their content out everywhere, but you're often ignoring the places and ways that actually bring in traffic and conversions to your business. And when I say traffic and conversions, what I mean is you're ignoring the way people come to you online, which is visiting your website, and how they reach out and book a call with you. Traffic is visiting your website. Reach out and book a call is conversions, converting somebody who visited your website into a lead. And when people book a consult with you, they are a lead, a potential client, a prospect. But here's what I see all the time: websites that haven't been updated in years, email lists that sit unused. Most often what I hear is people say that they just don't have the time to send the newsletters out, and then they feel guilty because they haven't done it for years and years. The current and past clients who could be rebooking with you or even referring people to you if you just reminded them that you're still there. And that's one of the biggest things email marketing, newsletters, and social media content can do. If you are not staying connected with them, then they forget that you're still there. And sometimes those past clients turn into current clients again when they realize they still need your help. And then what I see sometimes are referral sources that are never sent any acknowledgement or continued nurturing to build that relationship. If someone has referred a client to you, they are a very good contact to keep in touch with. When we look at all these different places that people are often ignoring, they're actually the ways and places where people can get more clients. So when you look back at your consult tracking sheet, and I do hope everybody out there listening has one of these, somewhere that you keep track of the calls that you get, the bookings that you get for consults, so that you can review the information and be able to know for certain, because it's data you've collected, that you understand where your consults and clients are coming from. I'll tell you right now, few of my clients have high numbers of clients that book with them because they found them on Instagram or social. The majority, and by majority I mean over 85%, are often coming from Google searches. Some of these come from online directories like Health Profs, or from Google Maps if you have your business registered with a Google business profile. And then there's referrals, therapists, doctors, complementary people who work with the same kind of clients who refer people to you. These are often where people's clients are coming from in my Thrive Marketing Academy. Yet before they worked with me, they were also all focusing a lot of their marketing on social media, spending hours trying to perfect that one post or video that would go viral and bring all these clients. But they were ignoring the content where it would matter the most. The content on their website, the content in the directories, the content on the insurance websites. Those are the places where people are finding a lot of practitioners. And once they find you there, they often visit your website. That's the most important place where you want to put this kind of information and content. But if your website content and the messaging you have there doesn't speak to your ideal clients, then you're missing the mark and you're focusing all of those marketing efforts in the wrong places. You want your marketing to be where people are finding you. So if you're out there and you're getting all of your clients reaching out through Instagram and from social media, by all means, go for it. That's not the reality for a lot of clients that I work with, people that are looking to build the one-on-one clients and build up that base of private practice income. They know that people are coming to their website after they've found them in a search, they've found them in a directory, or someone has referred them over. And that's why you have to make sure that you're focusing your marketing content on the channels where it matters. And the fifth reason that marketing isn't working and you're trying so hard and not getting results, this is where it often comes in, is that you're trying to do your marketing without a plan or having any priorities. without the plan, you're going to have the overwhelm, the inconsistency, and often a big old case of, I have no idea if this is working, but I'm just going to keep on doing it. That is not a marketing plan at all. If that is what your marketing strategy is, or if you're even doing what a lot of people do, which is, I just do what I have the basic time for, you're going to stay stuck in that cycle of random posts, inconsistent results, and burnout, followed by guilt, because you know there's stuff you should be doing that could help you, but you just don't do it anymore because what you were trying isn't working. And that's why identifying if these 5 reasons or any of them is a problem for you is going to be helpful. It's why I teach people to build very simple marketing systems. If you can figure out where your ideal clients typically find you and then focus on a content plan that speaks to those clients, that has the message that they will hear and need to hear, when you have that happening and you add a consistent content plan into it so that you can do the basic marketing you need to do and focus it where it matters, that's the way marketing your practice or your business is going to feel a lot less overwhelming and much more effective. And there's 3 steps I mentioned earlier that you can take to make this happen. The first one is you've got to clarify your message. It hits in so many spots when it comes to your business and your marketing that having it unclear, scattered, something you do one day one way and do another day a different way, it's not going to help you. You need to have a basic and a clear focused message, something people will understand instantly when they hear it or read it. And one way to get you started is to start off by trying to use this simple sentence template to get going. Now, this isn't your whole message, but it can get you started with trying to identify who the people are that you help and what their problem is that they're trying to solve. So as a template, you can have an example here, and I will put this in the show notes, by the way, so that you can copy and paste it. I help, and then blank. I want you to describe your ideal client there, what kind of client you're looking to work with. So I help, describe your ideal client, who are, and this is where you want to describe how they feel, okay? Then we move into trying to, and then I want you to describe their goal that they're trying to do. So I help, name your ideal client, who are or who is, describe how they feel, trying to, describe their goals, and then, but it's not working because, and then list their specific problem. So I'm going to give you an example for me. I help dietitians and private practice owners who are struggling to book more clients, but it's not working because their marketing is not getting them clients, just wasted time. So I've got dietitians and private practice owners is describing my client, who are and what they're feeling. They are struggling. They are frustrated. They are overwhelmed. Trying to book more clients is their goal, but it's not working because the marketing they're doing is not getting them anything but wasted time. So that's very clear on what I do. For a dietitian, here's an example just to give you a little more specific one that's not about me. I help women who are frustrated trying to manage their weight gain from menopause, but it's not working because none of the diets that work for other people are working for them. Now, that one said the word working in there a little too much, but you get the idea. I help women who are frustrated, so that is their ideal client, frustrated trying to manage their weight gain from menopause. This one kind of describes the ideal client a little bit and how they feel and their goals. So the women and the menopause part explains a little more about the ideal client. So they're split up in here. And to finish this, but it's not working because, and this is their problem, none of the diets that work for other people are working for them. People will understand who you're trying to help when you have a message like that. And when you add the other parts that you want to fill in the rest of the message, which is how you can help them and get them started in your transformation. I just don't have time to cover all of that for you today, but I want to get you started with the beginning parts of a clear message. when you add in the other parts, it really gets across to people so that they totally understand who you are, what your services help someone do, and the kind of person that you work with. They will absolutely be able to figure that out from your message. And that is key. Anybody reading or listening to your message needs to be able to understand. But if it's not clear, if it's too generic, it's not going to hit home with anyone. The second thing you want to do is then review your offer messaging on your website in particular. And I say go to your website, but you could translate this to a lot of other places. It could go in your emails and your blog content everywhere. But the most important spot to start with is your website, because that is the place that most people will go to check you out before they decide to hire you. When you check your website, I want you to look at the message that you have about your offers in particular, not only just the generic message about who you help and how you help them, but look at your offer, look at how you position your services and how you talk about them. If you have a special package or an offer that isn't selling, then look at the website. And of course, first of all, we go back to one of the reasons here that we talked about, one of those 5 reasons. Is it something people actually want? Did you validate it, that they're willing to pay for it? If you have, then it could be that it's just a matter of how you're positioning that within the website content. You want to make sure that when someone visits there, do they understand who you work with, what problem you help them with, what offer you have, meaning what kind of services do you offer, how they can book a call and get started with you. And if none of this is clear, especially on the homepage, then you've got to do some updating and clarify that message so that when you have content where you talk about your offer, your services, how you work with people, what they pay you for, you want to make sure that it is crystal clear. Then the third thing that you want to do is really and truly create a simple to follow, consistent marketing and content plan, one that focuses your marketing activities where they are going to matter. If you're someone who has been trying to put content out there everywhere, you don't need to do that. You don't need to write an article for a newsletter and more content to post multiple times on different posts on Instagram, and then have another script for a reel and more content for what you're going to put on Facebook or LinkedIn, and a different kind of article that you're going to put on a blog. If you are doing all of this and repeating it, especially several times a week as part of your marketing plan, slow it down. When you clarify the message that you want to have in general, when you make sure you update the messaging on your website, and then you follow it with a consistent content plan that streamlines your actions and ensures you have the messaging and content where it matters, that is what's going to take you less time and will get you more results than putting tons and tons of content out there online. It also helps you avoid almost all of these reasons your marketing isn't working. So instead of constantly trying to come up with new content or post everywhere and put content out all over the world, get a basic, consistent content plan that works and helps you show up where you need to be consistently without it taking over your life. It doesn't have to. Just focus your efforts on content that can have a lasting impact, like the content you put on your website, on your blog posts. Create content that can be repurposed. You shouldn't have to have a marketing plan that depends on you posting every day. I'll be honest, I was recently in a training where someone suggested that people have to be using YouTube to market their business. Didn't matter what kind of business they had. And the suggested plan was basically going to take someone like me, I would expect about 10 hours a week to do, but someone who wasn't sure what they were doing and took longer to put things together. No, you don't need that. Okay. I'm telling you here and now, there are definitely people that need it, but if you are a private practice owner, a service provider out there with a service-based business, and you're looking to build a base of one-to-one clients, or maybe some clients in a few small group programs, you do not need 10 hours or more of time every week spent on putting videos on YouTube, especially not if the messaging on your website is not even clear to people, to visitors, what you do and what you offer. So stop the constant new content on every platform out there. Build a consistent marketing and content plan that works for you. And when I talk about lasting impact, I mean content that is being posted where it matters, okay? Follow a simple system that will work for you even when you're busy. And this is what I teach people in the Thrive Marketing Academy. It's all about creating one piece of content, an article, that gets used as the content for your blog, for your newsletter, and your social media content for whatever cycle you plan to have. You repurpose that one piece of content into posts and emails and blogs and social media content and images. Take what you want. And I did talk about this in episode 76 and 77 of the podcast. I walk through exactly how a system like this, a consistent content plan, will work and how to tailor it to your practice. So I will put a couple of links in the show notes to both of those episodes, because you truly do not need more content, more marketing. You just need that clear, focused plan that ensures you're putting your marketing content where people come into your marketing funnel, and ensure that what you put out there is so clear that it helps your ideal clients who have found you understand that you're the person to help them and how to work with you. If people are finding you through directories and referrals or Google searches, most of them are landing at some point on your website. So instead of trying to put all this content on social media, focus on those high impact marketing activities that matter and are put out there where it's going to bring you consults and clients. No more trying to do everything when it comes to marketing your practice. When you focus on those main activities and you get that consistent content plan in place, and you will see a difference. And I did episode 50 that talked all about the Thrive marketing method that I teach and how you can use that system of one article becoming all of your content. Sometimes for a lot of people, it's enough for 1 month. I will put in a link to episode 50 in the show notes as well, so you can listen into that one too. And I've got a lot of detail on that on the page for it on the website so that you can follow along. So now what? Now I've told you some of these 5 reasons that your marketing might not be working and 3 steps to get it working so that it is more effective. But what do you do now? For me, you hit play and you've been listening this long because you wanted to find out why your marketing might not be working. So please take in these lessons I've shared with you today so that you can learn these 3 steps to help you avoid those 5 reasons your marketing might not be working. And most of all, remember, if it has not been working, it's not your fault. You're not behind. You've just been following more of a random type of marketing plan, trying to grow your practice. And like many people before you, you've been focusing in the wrong areas and you haven't had a clear message. But you can change all that. If you're a little confused on what you should do, get some help. I offer a free marketing review as part of my podcast. And you're more than welcome to book one of those sessions with me. I will put a link to where you can book that as well. Most importantly, I really just want you to stop spinning your wheels and start building that steady flow of clients without spending hours a day on marketing, because you've got a good plan, a good message, and you've tied all these important things together so that the marketing that you do is focused where it's going to matter and where it's going to get you the most impact. I will put a link to all of these resources and other episodes I've mentioned in the show notes, and you'll find that at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/147. This is Kathy Colaiacovo saying thanks for tuning in. And remember, to thrive in practice or business means having a focused marketing message, clarity on your offers, and a consistent content plan. And that is how you will spend less time on marketing, but in a way that brings in more clients. I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.